As many of you know, I'm a Christian, but that's one thing. When you're a Christian and you say you're a Christian, but then you got to live it. Well, my next guest encountered a life-changing event in 2013. He was shot 17 times while bow hunting a wild turkey with his dad. How did he survive? Well, he's here with his story. Co-founder of Not By Sight, Daniel Strunk. Thank you so much for joining the program, Daniel.
Good evening, Lawrence. Thank you for having me.
Now, a mutual friend of ours sent me your story, and I watched the film and got a good grasp of it. Man, how did you become such a good Christian?
If you'd ask anybody who knows me, I'm no different than anyone else. Honestly, I think that my faith, honestly, being tried through these circumstances now, has been polished and refined out of all the things that I've learned through this adversity. You know, you don't have a testimony until you go through a test.
So Daniel, the person that shot you wasn't supposed to be in there, right? In that area, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, my dad and I were out hunting some private property that we've hunted for 20 years, and I've never encountered anybody who wasn't supposed to be there until that morning. A set of circumstances would put us, about 30 yards from a turkey that one of the two gentlemen there had already killed. My dad and I were kind of trying to talk and formulate the best plan of action because we didn't really know where these guys were yet. Before we could even make a decision, another shot rang out, and that was a shot that hit my dad and hit me.
So why did the shot hit you? Were they intentionally trying to shoot you? Because, brother, you don't look like a turkey.
Right, you're exactly right. I don't think so. I think it was a reckless, negligent act. I don't think that I'd like to think nobody would intentionally shoot at another person. The gentleman who shot me is quoted in the paper the next day as saying he simply saw movement and shot at movement.
So did you ever meet the gentleman? Did he come and apologize to you?
No. Right after the situation, I immediately hit the ground and began screaming. Then my dad was yelling, hey, we've been hit and we need help. And I could tell by the desperation in his voice that it wasn't coming. The two guys rendered no aid, and I've had no contact with them and no apology.
Daniel, when you go to the hospital, you're on the operating bed, and when if I get the story correct, the bullet, one of the pellets, was like half an inch or half a centimeter from hitting the nerve that would have killed you?
1 centimeter from my brain. So it would have definitely complicated
Holy cow.
things. Yeah, it would have complicated things more. The doctor actually said, you're very lucky. And I said, I know I was shot and I'm still alive. He said, no, you don't understand. This pellet went as far as it could and stopped right before hitting your brain. He said, eyeballs don't stop bullets, but yours did. And that's when I looked.
So Daniel, you don't say you're lucky. You say you're blessed, right?
Incredibly blessed. God's got a reason that I'm still here, and he's given me a vision for this day and what he wants me to do with it and sharing my story with others.
So part of this organization, Not By Sight, and I'm rocking your band, man. I'm rocking your band. And I want people to go to your website and purchase one to contribute to the...
So good.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. You believe in forgiveness. You actually have forgiven this guy.
Yeah.
How could you do that?
Honestly, you can't forgive somebody, Lawrence, until you're first forgiven yourself. I've been forgiven from my own sins, by placing my faith and trust in Christ's death on the cross. He died in my place so that I could be forgiven. And through these circumstances, this situation, I've learned how crucial forgiveness is to the healing process. A lot of times people welcome forgiveness with open arms when they're the recipient, but they want to hold on to it with clenched fists and not give it away. They want to hold it over somebody's head.
Guilty. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that.
We all are. It doesn't come natural, and it's something that you cannot do unless you have supernatural help. And it wasn't instant. It took, some days and some time, and every day, I wake up look in the mirror and see the effects of this, but don't hold a grudge.
So tell me about the organization. What is the organization's purpose? Is it to talk about the gospel, talk about forgiveness? What is the mission?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're founded based on 2 Corinthians 5:7. It's a verse that was crucial to my recovery, and it says, we walk by faith and not by sight. You see, when I had my eye removed, I lost all my depth perception, so I couldn't rely on what I was seeing around me to act. I see a lot of people today acting simply based on their circumstances, based on what's around them, and they act out the best that they know how, but you've seen a lot of people, and you've actually met a lot of people, especially during this election season, that have been fueled by either hatred are fueled by fear, and that's caused them to act. We take my story out on the road and we share it with as many people who will listen, and we hope that they will then be fueled by faith and not fear, and fueled by forgiveness, and not hatred. We're a movement dedicated to sharing stories of people overcoming adversity through faith, in those crucial, not by sight times in their life where they couldn't look around and see, anything but their obstacles, but put their faith and trust in God and allowed Him to teach them the same things that He's taught me, about His protection, His provision, and His purpose for their life.
Wow, man. How's the response been from people?
The response has been great. It amazed me, and I'm truly humbled. Everyone who encounters my story takes away something from it. It happened 12 days before my wedding. So there's the whole love between Danielle and I. And after this, I actually told her, I said, you didn't sign up to marry somebody with one eye. If you want to back out, I understand. There's the whole dynamic of forgiveness, of faith, of moving on. My dad was right there watching his son get shot, and I didn't even know he was hit until the next day at the hospital. His main focus was me. But the response has been good. We've been traveling around out on the road now. We started in October and sharing this story in the video that we made with anybody who will watch it, in hopes to get
Brother,
the gospel.
where can they reach you to get more information about this?
Yeah, you can follow us online on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can go to notbysight.com, watch the full story, and find out more information about what we're all about. While you're there, I'd love it if you'd purchase some merchandise. That's what we're fueled by. As you see, you're rocking the wristband there, looking good.
You know it.
But more than just wearing that and supporting us, I really pray that as you would look down at that every day, you'd remember, and it would be a small reminder to walk by faith and not by sight.
Daniel, thank you so much for joining the program, brother.
Thanks, Lawrence.
I tell you, it is important to live this thing, and he's doing it. Missouri joins states allowing concealed carry without permits. More after this break.